Building a strong, independent mindset is one of the most important things a person can do in life. It means learning how to trust yourself, think for yourself, and make decisions without depending completely on other people's opinions. A person with an independent mindset does not allow fear, pressure, or constant approval from others to control their life. They still listen to advice, but at the end of the day, they take responsibility for their own choices. Many people struggle with this in life. They constantly ask others what to do. They are afraid to disappoint people. They worry too much about what family, friends, or society will think. Because of this, they often live a life that does not truly make them happy. For example, someone may want to become an artist, start a business, or study a certain subject, but their family pushes them toward a completely different path. Instead of listening to their own heart and abilities, they follow the crowd just to avoid criticism. Years later, they feel unhappy and unfulfilled because they spent their life trying to please everyone else instead of understanding themselves. This is why self-awareness is so important. Self-awareness means understanding who you are, what matters to you, what your strengths are, and what kind of life you truly want. Without this understanding, people easily get lost in other people's expectations. Think about a young man who spends his whole life trying to impress others. He buys things he cannot afford, changes his personality to fit in, and constantly seeks validation from friends and social media. Deep inside, he does not even know who he really is anymore because his identity depends on people's opinions. This often leads to anxiety, stress, and confusion. But when a person truly knows themselves, they become more stable. They stop changing who they are just to be accepted. They become more confident in their decisions, even when others disagree with them. Another important part of an independent mindset is learning how to think critically. This means not believing everything immediately just because everyone else believes it. It means asking questions, thinking deeply, and understanding situations carefully before making decisions. Today, many people are easily influenced by social media, trends, gossip, and peer pressure. Someone sees others becoming rich quickly online and suddenly feels pressured to copy them without understanding the risks. Others follow unhealthy trends simply because everyone is doing it. For example, a person may go into debt trying to look successful online because society makes them believe expensive things equal success. Later, they suffer financially and emotionally because they followed pressure instead of wisdom. Critical thinking protects people from making foolish decisions. It helps people pause and ask, is this really good for me? Does this match my values? Am I doing this because I truly want it or because I want approval? This kind of thinking helps people live more honestly and wisely. Many people fear being alone because they think being alone means something is wrong with them. So they constantly surround themselves with noise, people, relationships, or distractions because silence makes them uncomfortable. But solitude can actually be very powerful. When you spend quiet time alone, you begin to understand yourself better. You reflect on your life, your mistakes, your dreams, and your future. Some of the clearest moments in life happen during quiet moments. In life, many people only realize important truths after stepping away from constant distractions. A woman constantly surrounded by toxic friends may finally realize how exhausted she feels once she spends time alone. A man in a draining relationship may finally understand his worth after spending quiet time reflecting on his life. Learning to enjoy your own company is a sign of emotional strength. It means you are not desperate for constant attention or validation. This does not mean isolating yourself from people. Humans still need healthy relationships and support. But it means you are emotionally stable enough to stand on your own when needed. Resilience is another important part of independence. Life is difficult sometimes. Problems, failures, disappointments, rejection, and painful situations happen to everyone. An independent mindset helps a person keep moving forward instead of completely falling apart during hard times. For example, someone may lose a job unexpectedly. One person completely gives up, blames life, and loses hope. Another person feels disappointed too, but eventually starts applying again, learning new skills, and rebuilding. The second person becomes stronger because resilience helps them recover. Resilience does not mean never feeling pain. It means refusing to stay defeated forever. Many people become emotionally dependent on others to fix every problem for them. While support is important, nobody can carry your entire life for you. Eventually, every person must learn how to stand back up after difficulties. Independence does not mean rejecting people or refusing help. Some people misunderstand independence and think they must do everything alone. That is not good either. Healthy independence means balancing self-reliance with healthy relationships. You can love people, receive support, and value advice without depending on others for your identity or happiness. For example, in healthy relationships, people support each other without controlling each other. A husband and wife may encourage one another emotionally, but they still maintain their own identity, goals, and self-respect. Unhealthy dependence happens when someone feels they cannot function emotionally without another person. They may say things like, "I can't live without you. My happiness completely depends on you." This creates emotional pressure and often leads to fear, insecurity, and unhealthy attachment. A strong, independent mindset also requires boundaries. Boundaries protect your peace, time, emotions, and energy. Many people become exhausted because they never set boundaries. They say yes to everything. They allow disrespect. They let others control their time and emotions. Over time, they become emotionally drained and resentful. For example, imagine a person who is always helping everyone but never resting. Friends constantly call them with problems, co-workers overload them with work, and family members demand too much from them. Because they fear disappointing people, they never say no. Eventually, they become burned out and unhappy. Boundaries are necessary because they protect your well-being. Saying no sometimes is not selfish, it is healthy. Many people stay dependent because they are afraid to fail alone. They fear making mistakes, so they avoid taking risks. For example, someone may dream of starting a business but never tries because they fear losing money or failing publicly. Another person may want to change careers but stays stuck because fear controls them. But failure is part of growth. Every successful person has failed in some way. The difference is that successful people learn from failure instead of allowing failure to define them. A child learning to ride a bicycle falls many times, but falling is part of learning. Life works the same way. When people stop fearing failure so much, they become freer. They begin trying new things, learning and growing. Financial independence is another important part of freedom. Many people feel trapped in life because they completely depend on other people financially. When you cannot support yourself, you may feel forced to stay in situations that make you unhappy simply because you are afraid of surviving on your own. For example, some people remain in toxic relationships because they depend on their partner for money, food, rent, or basic needs. Even when the relationship is emotionally painful, they feel stuck because they think, "If I leave, how will I survive?" Others stay in jobs they hate for years because they never learned how to save money or manage their finances wisely. Financial independence gives a person choices. It gives peace of mind. It allows you to make decisions based on what is healthy and right for your life, not just based on fear or survival. But financial independence does not mean you must become a millionaire or live a luxurious life. Many people misunderstand this. It is not about becoming a millionaire or live a luxurious life. It's about learning how to manage your money wisely instead of wasting everything you earn. It means saving little by little, even if the amount is small. It means avoiding unnecessary debt and learning to live within your means. It means building stability step by step, so that emergencies or hard times do not completely destroy your life. For example, a person earning a small salary can still become financially stable if they learn discipline. They may avoid overspending, save regularly, learn useful skills, and slowly improve their situation over time. Another person may earn a lot of money but constantly waste it on impressing others, leaving them stressed and dependent. Emotional independence is equally important. Emotional independence means your self-worth does not completely depend on how people treat you. In real life, many people feel worthless when rejected, criticized, or ignored because their confidence depends entirely on outside approval. For example, someone posts online and feels emotionally destroyed by negative comments. Another person cannot feel good about themselves unless constantly praised by their partner. This kind of dependence gives too much power to others. Emotionally independent people still care about relationships and love, but they do not lose themselves when people disappoint them. They understand, my value does not disappear because someone rejects me. I can still be okay even when life is difficult. Independence is a lifelong journey of growth. Nobody becomes fully strong overnight. Growth happens little by little through learning, mistakes, experience, discipline, and self-reflection. People with an independent mindset continue improving themselves. They read, learn, ask questions, gain skills, and step outside their comfort zones. For example, a person who once struggled with confidence may slowly improve communication skills, learn new things, and become more self-assured over time. Another person may overcome fear little by taking small, brave steps every day. The more you grow, the stronger and more capable you become. At the end of the day, building a strong, independent mindset means becoming someone who can think clearly, stand firmly, recover from difficulties, and make wise decisions without constantly depending on others to define your worth or direction. It means learning to trust yourself while continuing to grow. It means understanding that while support from others is valuable, your life is ultimately your responsibility. And when you build that kind of mindset, you become stronger, calmer, wiser, and freer.